I've been waiting for this. It's been a minute. One of our very good friends, Klay's dad, Mychal Thompson, especially as the Warriors get ready to play the Lakers tonight in a dramatic showdown. Mychal, how are you, buddy? It's great to have you back on the show.
I'm excited. Can't wait for this game tonight. The playoffs have already started, Warrior fans, because whoever wins this game tonight sort of takes control of the ninth seed. If the Warriors win tonight and win out, I think they'll be the ninth seed and have that first game up in Chase Center. So, and of course, the Lakers feel the same way. They have to win this game tonight to make sure that game, if they play the Warriors, is down here in L.A.
Mychal, do you see these two teams the same way, which is playing teams, aging stars, but their champions could make noise, or do you see one of them as having a better chance to go on a run than the other?
Well, both have a good chance. The way both teams are playing down the stretch, they're peaking at the right time. And like you said, they both have a bunch of veterans and experience of championships on both teams. So this both these teams can make a big run. Whoever gets out of the play-in, they're going to have a chance to do what the Lakers did last year, get to the Final Four.
How much does the experience really factor into a best of seven? I look at Minnesota and OKC at the top, and they don't have the experience that the Lakers and the Warriors do. How big of an edge do the Lakers and Warriors have in a series against teams that have been better all year?
It's just like cooking a gourmet meal. If you're doing it for the first time, you might have the recipe, but you don't know if you're doing it the right way. But if you've done it before, then you know all the right ingredients. And both these teams, the Lakers and the Warriors, have been there, done that before. You got the new teams up top. They're young. It's the first time they've been in this position, the first time they get to cook the meal. So they might make a few mistakes, might put the wrong ingredients in at the wrong time. So it's maybe a process you have to go through to learn how to win at the highest level. So we have to wait and see if the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves know how to do that. We know Denver knows how to do it, but do those other two teams know how to do it once they're in that position?
To this day, Mychal, I think you would still be the tallest player on the Warriors. So I say that because I want to know if you think the Lakers have the Warriors' number. It has felt like that last year and this year to a degree. And so there's a piece of me that would like the Warriors to do whatever needs to be done this week to avoid the Lakers in the play-in tournament.
Yeah, the Lakers' size is definitely a problem for anybody. Anytime you got Anthony Davis, who's arguably the second or third best center in the game. Obviously, we think Jokic is the number one center, but Anthony Davis is that good, that unstoppable for anybody, not just the Warriors. So he's going to be a problem whether the Lakers play the Nuggets or the Thunder or the Clippers. No matter who the Lakers play, Anthony Davis is a problem that teams cannot solve. So the Warriors aren't the only team in that boat. But, the Lakers' size, they try to overpower the Warriors because you got Rui Hachimura, is also a very physical player. Obviously, LeBron's a runaway truck when he gets the ball going into the lane. And Austin Reeves is a physical guard, and they've got long, rangy, physical defenders out there at Reddish and Vanderbilt when he's healthy. So, the Lakers' size is definitely something they have an advantage with over the Warriors. But the Warriors have proven that even though they're a smaller team, they can scrap it, they can rebound with the best of them. And now that you've got Trace Jackson Davis improving and emerging like a young star center in the game, having his presence out there now makes a big difference, a big help for the Warriors.
Yeah, he's been tremendous since he's been inserted, and he's got great chemistry with your son, Klay. It's fun to watch those two work together, but I wanted to ask you about having Klay in the building tonight, and you'll be there broadcasting and getting to see your son firsthand. What's that like for you? Is it any different after all these years?
Yeah, he's 34 years of age, been in the league 12, 13 years. And I still get as nervous watching him play as if he was playing youth basketball as a sixth or fifth grader. So no matter how many years and how much experience he has, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I still get nervous for him, want him to play well. And when he plays well, that makes me happy.
Mychal Thompson with us on Willard and Dibs, 95.7 The Game. Mychal, have you stopped watching Andy Griffith long enough to listen to Klay on the podcast, on Draymond's podcast this week?
I got it on my to-do list. I haven't seen it yet. Everybody's been telling me about it. I've been so busy watching all my YouTube Bay Area transparency videos. So I haven't. I love those videos about the First Amendment from the Bay Area transparency guy. He's Jay up there. I've just been hooked on those things. But I'm going to get around to watching Jay and Draymond and Klay because everybody's been telling me what a great podcast it was. Like I'll listen to it. I'll probably listen to it on the flight going to Memphis on Thursday.
Well, he really opened up, and he's been doing that a lot this year. He's been open with the fans about his mental health and the things he's struggled with, especially at the beginning of the year. And I wonder what your perspective is just on that journey this year. What has Klay been through?
Well, I knew he'd be all right. After what he went through, missing basketball for 2 straight years, he showed his mental toughness with what he's all about when he came back and helped the Warriors win a championship after fighting through those 2 tough injuries. So I knew, even though he started off the season a little slow by his standards, I knew he'd turn it around. I had all the faith in the world in Klay, and I always have and will continue to have, and I knew he was going to be fine.
He's playing great right now, and Warrior fans are much more happy about the fact that he may stick around when he gets into free agency. But, Mychal, we don't really know what he's going to prioritize. When you talk to your son, what are his big priorities as he gets into really his first free agency ever?
Well, I don't really talk to Klay about that because I don't want to put that kind of burden on him or pressure on him or bug him about it. I'm sure he thought about it enough, so he doesn't need to hear that from me. I just want him to have fun today, be in the present, and not worry about it. Just think about the game tonight to try to help get his team into the real playoffs, out of the play-in. So, no, we don't talk about that. I keep that business stuff, that side away from the family.
You think he's open to play for another team, though, at any point in his career?
I haven't asked him, guys. I'm not trying to evade your question. I haven't asked him about that. We just look at it now. He's a Warrior, and nothing else matters right now.
Yeah, I know. Like you responded to someone on Twitter a handful of months ago, and sort of indicated like, look, Klay's a dub, and obviously that's going to mean a lot going forward. But when you do listen to this pod, you'll hear he says like the contractual stuff sort of bothered him at the beginning of the year. And so I think a lot of fans are wondering if that's still bothering him on any level.
No, obviously it's not. The way he's playing is like he's totally focused on basketball, totally focused on helping the Warriors win and get back to a championship level. So that's all he's concerned about right now. How
tough is it to, I guess compartmentalize would be the word when you're an athlete in this day and age with social media, contract pressure, free agency, and all the rest of it? Is it a challenge for your son to try to just focus on basketball?
It's a lot tougher for current players today than when I played back in the dark ages of the NBA because we didn't even have to worry about knuckleheads like you guys talking on sports radio about us. We didn't have any sports radio shows back then when I played. All the time we ever heard about ourselves was in the newspaper the next morning writing about the game, or maybe some columnist writing about the team. So obviously today's player has so much more attention on them 24/7, 365 that they can't get away from it. Well, you can, just don't look at it, but there's so much more attention on players today than when I played. It's a joke.
Knuckleheads like us, do you want to tell everybody what you were doing between noon and 3 today?
Ah, boy.
Oh, I was on the Basement Island Sports Talk Show talking to the other knuckleheads on the show. I was the only sane person on the show.
Well, that's always been the case with all of your shows, Mychal. We know that.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, what would be your perspective? And I know that different eras of the NBA maybe have seen this different. But the experience that Draymond Green has been through the last few months, getting suspended, getting thrown out in Orlando a couple of weeks ago, Steve Kerr called it unforgivable. Steph Curry looked like he might have been crying on the court. What would your perspective have been if you were a teammate?
Yeah, I would talk to him and say, like Klay said on the podcast, a little snippet I heard, you can't be doing that because you're not only hurting yourself, but you're hurting the team. And we're not going to win without you. If we had that kind of a teammate, that's what I would tell him, just like what Klay told him. You can't be doing that anymore. And Draymond looks like he's learned his lesson. He said he knows he messed up. He can't be continuing to do that if the Warriors want to achieve what they hope to achieve. So I would basically told him, hey, man, we need you on the floor. Quit getting thrown out. Simple as that. No more.
How important is it to Klay that he continues to play with Draymond and Steph and, the brotherhood that he came in with and Draymond came in here and Steph's been here the whole time? Is that something that Klay values?
Oh, that's special, man. Are you kidding me? To be able to duplicate what the Spurs did with Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker. Now, Parker ended up going to Charlotte, obviously, but those guys played together for, 14, 15 years together. So to be able to have a threesome up there, for those guys to play together as long as they have and hopefully will continue to, that is special and unique and something to definitely treasure and appreciate.
Do you, and I guess by extension, Klay, do you guys still consider it quote, the big three, or as responsibility starts to transfer to the Jonathan Kumingas of the world, do you view it differently?
Well, what the Warriors have right now is the big four, because you got to add the Hall of Famer Chris Paul in there too, because having Chris Paul on that team makes them such a smarter team, makes them more of a efficient team at crunch time. Don't overlook Chris Paul's contribution to that team too, man. He is so good and so smart, one of the smartest players to ever play the game. So the big four up there, that's important to have. They've got the perfect blend of four Hall of Famers with young, good, talented guys coming up behind them. Right now, the Warriors have a really good blend, good mix of a roster up there.
Klay's dad, Mychal Thompson, here on 95.7 The Game. So you mentioned the blend and the four Hall of Famers. Do you think the blend is good enough with the youth and TJD and Podziemski and Kuminga? Do they have enough this year to, quote, go on a run, Mychal? Or is it fool's gold for fans to think that this team can make any noise?
Oh, no, man. You see the way the Warriors have been playing the last couple of weeks? This is the real Warriors team. So they definitely have enough to go on a deep run in the playoffs. And I'd be surprised if they don't. They've got the blend of the speed, intelligence. They've got size now, can play above the rim. And Davis Jackson and Jackson Davis. So they've got it. They've got the total package there. They've still got Looney, who's a three-time champion, who knows what he's doing up there. So the Warriors are definitely built to win this year.
Interesting. You'd be surprised if they don't. I mean, what if they play the Lakers in the play-in game next Wednesday night? One of them is going to be gone.
Exactly, but that's how even things are. They could beat the Lakers could beat them. Just who's going to have the best night that night? It's probably going to be an epic game, and it's going to come down to crunch time. So one of those two teams, if they play each other, is going to get eliminated. But either one can win, even if the game is down here.
Mychal, I'll tell you this. The fan base up here, you may know this, the discussion almost daily right now is whether or not it's, as Dibs said, kind of fool's gold to just keep everybody together, not just this year, but into the future, because these guys are into their mids, some of them even into their late 30s. It sounds to me like you think sticking with this core still's got a lot of sustainability to it. Do you think that?
Yeah. Of course, because of the help, the support they're getting from Kuminga and Podziemski and Jackson Davis and Moses Moody. And they've got such a good young roster behind the four Hall of Famers that the Warriors could be a factor for years to come with the mix of the veterans and the youth.
And is that motivational for your son Klay, to where if they do feel like they can still win together, that would motivate him more to stay?
Man, I mean, Klay loves it in the Bay Area, so right now, all he's thinking about is helping the Warriors get back to the playoffs after the play-in, and then going from there. So we ain't thinking about next year. We ain't thinking about July. The only thing that matters for Warrior fans, it should matter for Warrior fans, is tonight here in L.A.
And so how do you see tonight in L.A.?
Ooh, it's going to be a tough game, boy. I think the Lakers, they know how much they need this game. The Warriors know how much they need this game. So this is going to be a classic. And it wouldn't surprise if the Warriors win. Obviously, I'm walking the fence. I expect, since the Lakers are here at home, they probably have a slight edge, a couple of points edge. But the Warriors are definitely capable of coming in here and beating the Lakers. Do
you admit yet to the Laker fan base that when the Warriors are in town, you're rooting against the Lakers?
Oh, no, I tried to do that, but when I cut myself the other day shaving, my blood bled purple.
There you go. It wasn't blue and gold, huh?
Come on, Mike.
No, it wasn't blue and gold yet.
No, but did you cut yourself shaving today? And what color was it?
It was purple again. Purple, a little gold mixed in.
You're a liar. You're too much of a...
I kept looking for blue and gold, but it was purple and gold.
I know the family man you are, and you're a liar, Mychal.
No, I always want Klay to have 50. But if they lost by one or two, I mean, that's life. You got to deal with it sometimes.
Tough lesson for the son.
Love you, buddy. Thanks for coming on.